Hey everyone, Neil here. Coming back to finish up this dual input furnace. I really want to put this to bed and get to some other stuff. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do here is we're going to go on a bit of a marathon. Get this bad boy wrapped up nice and tidy. We spent a little bit of time in Tileentity, and that's where I want to pick up where we left off from last time. So we'll go into there. I want to kind of run it, and we can see what's happening so far. I believe, if I remember correctly, we got the GUI to come up. We can place items in and out of it. Yep. And we did, in the most recent episode, we did our write to NBT and our read from NBT, meaning that we can essentially leave the game, we could come back, and our stuff should still be inside of it, which it looks as though it is not. What's going on with that? Well, let's take a peek here. Probably should have tested that at the end of the last episode. Find out what was going on there. This is the alabaster oven. That is the wrong one. We want this bad boy right here. Alright, so we're doing our slots. Alright, let's look here first. We're putting this stuff in. Slots.length, yes, so we're going through each of the slots, iterating. Slots.I does not equal null. Equals a new tag compound. We're going to set the byte, slot, byte, I. I actually forgot one line here. Slots dot write dot write. We should have, oh, you know what? We need to do slots because it's an array. We need to do slots I dot write to NBT, and then this is going to be NBT1, like so. There we go. Let me just double check this read from NBT as well here. We got that. So we go through, we're reading through each of them, iterating. NBT1, get byte slot, length, load item stack from NBT, NBT1. That should be good. Let's run it and find out. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud through all of that. Alright, let's try this again. We're just going to do one glass in each of these. And you know what, let's do one over here just to make sure that all of our slots are actually saving this data. There we go. There we go. We never actually, this is kind of the magic line right here that actually puts, hey, put that stuff into NBT. Whatever's in the slots, write it to NBT as it's going through loop. So there we go. We got that handled. We're in business. Client shutdown thread. Oh, we don't need to worry about that. Alright, we still have some methods in here. And really, let's look through these. We actually went through and we took care of all of the unimplemented methods. So what we need to do at this point is, this is going to be a machine that has power, right? So we're going to need to add some variables for that. Really what I kind of want to take care of right now is the slot stuff. So let's get that out of the way real fast. And we're going to do some arrays. So we're going to start right up here. And we're going to do private static int. No, we want to do final int. And this is going to be an array. And it's going to be slots 1. And it is going to be equal to new int and 0. That is going to be the slot in question. But it needs to be a new int, just like so. We are going to do a private static final int array, and this is going to be, you know what? We don't want this to be slots 1. We want this to be slots top. Slot 0 is going to be slots for the top. So top is like the hopper. What we put a hopper on top, and these are the items that we want to go in there. So we actually also want this to be, we want to do 0 and then 1. Because when we're looking at our GUI, this is going to be slot 0. This is going to be slot 1. So this is essentially our input items. And I know that you guys can't see my cursor, so I'm trying to do a good job of highlighting. Slot 0, slot 1. There we go. Slot 0, slot 1. Slots bottom. Bottom is going to be equal to a new integer. And what's going to come out of the bottom? Well, the bottom is essentially going to be, we can either pull out fuel or we can pull out our output. So what this is going to be is our output slot is this one over here. This is actually slot 3, right? So we have 0, 1, the fuel slot down here is 2, this is 3. So to pull stuff out of this, let's actually just leave it as slot 3 at this particular point. So slot 3, if we were to put a hopper below our item, it's going to come out of slot 3. Now we're going to do private static final int array slots side is going to be equal to new int array, and this is going to be slot 2. So whatever is, we're specifying that if we put a hopper next to it, it's going to come into slot 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these variables that we have right here in methods further down, and we're going to specify how all of that action happens. And that method is looking through my notes. Here we go. Let me make sure that I don't already have it, because it's called get accessible slots from side. Get accessible slots from side. And I am not seeing it. So here we go. We're going to do, you guys know that I can't spell public. Public int, and that's going to be an array, and this will be get accessible. Is that right? Accessible slots from side. That's weird. That doesn't look right to me. Int I. Let's do this. It's going to give us an error because we're not returning anything. So let's just return null at this point. So that way we can get rid of that error. And let's override this just to make sure that we're good here. Yeah, see, it doesn't like that. Must override. Get accessible. I feel like I'm spelling accessible wrong. Get accessible slots from side. Let's look at what we did on our alabaster oven and see what that says. Get accessible slots from side, and that's overridden. So let's actually just copy this whole thing, and then we'll adjust it as we need to. Yeah, see, still doesn't like that. Must override or implement a super type method. What is this? What? Did I already have it up here and I just missed it? I do. Okay, that's weird. That's totally weird. Yeah. Well, I copy and pasted this over. Gosh, it still doesn't like that, but it likes it over here. What is that all about? Tile entity, I cited inventory. I inventory. I cited inventory. And import that. And then we're going to have some more unimplemented methods. We got 3 to-dos down here. Let's override our get exhaustible slots from side. It likes it now. Imagine that. No var1. I hate var1. Let's do I. We can leave this as is. This is fine right here. Let's take a look at these last 3 methods. Get inventory name, can insert item. Don't we have a get inventory name already? Oh my gosh. Has custom inventory name. Let's do this. Let's Control X. Gives us an extra one. Has custom inventory name. So we do still, in fact, need that. So, can insert item, can extract item. We can take care of those bad boys real quick. So, can insert item, what we want to do is we want to return this dot is item valid for slot, and that is going to be var1 and item stack, just like so. Easy, easy. We should already have a method in here for this, so we'll just do a quick search. There it is right there. Whoa, my volume is loud. There we go. So we already have it up here. So we're really just bouncing up to this. So that's good. Item stack. It doesn't like item stack because it's not named item stack, but now it is. Sucker. Extract item. We want to... What? Return... what do we have here? I don't like this, yo. I don't like it, yo. J. Return, as long as J is not equal to 0, right? Because what is our 0 slot? Our 0 slot is, come on, this bad boy right here. So as long as J is not equal to 0, and I, so, or, I'm thinking here. So J, how this typically works, so it's essentially, it'll return true if it can, if automation, like a hopper, can extract a given item in that slot from the given side. And really your arguments are going to be your slot, your item, and then your side. So, we specified that our side slots are 1. Okay, so yep, I got this. Don't you worry, I got this. Or I is not equal, we don't want the big I, we want a little I is not equal to 1, or item stack dot get item equals items dot bucket. If it's a bucket, we're going to leave it in there. We're going to leave that in there. Sweet. Now we have our get inventory name. let me see here. Oh, what is this? You know, what's funny is really what we're going to be doing is, excuse me, we've actually already taken care of this. So if this is going to return null, is that going to affect our inventory name? It still should say ingot masher when we jump into this bad boy. No, it did not like that. It did not like that one bit. What didn't it like? Rendering screen. There. No pointer exception. GUI ingot masher. GUI container. 28. Yep. Get inventory name. This.masher.get inventory name, which is right here. We returned null. We actually want to return container dot I think this is just ingot masher is what we have in our lang file. So let's check that real fast. Let's check the lang file, see what it says. See what we got. Container dot ingot masher, capital M. Capital M. Let's save it. Let's run it. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good. So we've got all of our unimplemented methods. I was a derp, and I did not import I-cited inventory. I just did I-inventory. Shame on me. Shame on me. All right, let's get into this. So the first thing that I want to do here is we need to do a couple of our own methods here. Some brand new methods unique to what we're trying to accomplish here. So we are going to start with public int get masher progress scaled, and this is just going to be int I, like so. And what we are going to return is our dual cook time times I divided by a variable that we have yet to define, which is max power. Just like so. So let's do that. Let's define what our max power is. Now our max power is more or less going to be what how much juice this thing can handle. Right? So we're going to specify that this bad boy holds a certain amount of juice. Because remember, what we're doing with this is we're dumping our fuel in here and allowing this fuel gauge to fill up. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to specify how much fuel does this hold. And we do that by having a max power. So max power, essentially whatever number we set, is the number of ticks that it will take to run until it's empty. If we fill it completely full, how many ticks does it take until it's empty? Well, we're just going to actually set this to 10,000. Like so, 10,000 ticks. So it's going to take a bit. It's going to take quite a bit to fill this bad boy up, especially if our fuel that we're putting in here, the tree pitch, is only returning 50 ticks. So each tree pitch gives us 50 ticks worth of cooking. And what is then we do actually another thing, which is going to be a public static final int, and this is going to be our mashing speed. And what do we want this to be? Well, we're going to make this 100, and you can adjust this. So I spent a lot of time talking about, like, when you're building your mod, you're going to have progression to it. right? And balance is really important. If you've ever played Gravetech or like IC2, you have bigger, better, faster, more efficient machines that cost more to make. So when you're doing this, this is where you'll adjust it, right? So you'll have a slow mashing speed or whatever speed for your machines and for your furnaces, but as you get into those higher tiers, you want to increase this number because they're going to be more efficient, right? So thinking about like IC2, you have your extractor and then you have your centrifuge extractor, right? Or you have your furnace and then your induction furnace, right? The induction furnace does 2 at a time, so much faster. Are you following along with me? So it's about balance. It's about progression. So think about that when you're building this yourself. So what did we do? We said that get masher progress scaled is going to return our dual cook time times I divided by max power. What is this really going to allow us to do? Well, when we go over to our GUI class and we're looking at the GUI for the ingot masher, we need to do the thing with the power, and that's really where we're getting our progress scaled. So then that way we can display on our GUI in here how much stuff is in here. You know, it's going down. That's essentially where we're updating that. We're saying, hey, whatever's left, you know, display in here. So that's how we're incrementing that, and we'll get to that. That's kind of like a finishing touches kind of thing. We actually want to make this bad boy work first. So let's head back here. Let's actually close out that class. I don't want to get in there and start tinkering around with that and then make a boo-boo. What? Invocation target. It's trying to spawn something. It's trying to spawn my Cyclops and it's derping out. I think that's because I broke it. Is it nighttime? No, why is it trying to spawn one of those? Maybe there's like a cave underneath me it's trying to spawn it in. I don't know. We're not going to worry about that. No. I told that had that totally backwards. Progress scaled. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Progress scaled is our progress bar, not our power remaining. Herp derp. Herp derp derp derp. Public int get power remaining. Scaled, and this is going to be int I as well. We could do int O, but we'll do int I because I like I better. And this we are actually going to do this here. I had these backwards, and with our progress scaled, this actually needs to be dual cook time times I. And then here we'll have divided by this dot mashing speed, like so. And then this will actually be dual power times I divided by max power. So this is our two methods that we're going to call in our GUI class right here. But again, those don't do anything at this point. So we'll come back and we'll tune up that GUI class later. The real three big methods that we have at this point is our what in a furnace class is our can smelt and our smelt item, right? I'm going to name those something unique, right? So I'm actually going to have a private Boolean can mash. Can mash. Pretty straightforward. We need to return something, so we're just actually going to return false at this point. Can't return null because it's a Boolean expression and we have to return true or false. And then another method, private. No, it's not a Boolean. This is void mesh item. Like so. And we don't have to return anything for that because we said void. The other thing that we need to do here is, and this is the big one, this is kind of where all the magic happens, and this is our update entity class. And we're going to go through this manually like we did with the last one. So update entity method, like so. These are ones that we are going to be covering in the next episode. So, until then, this is Neil. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you then.